Y'all, what is going on in hip-hop heaven and heartbreak hell? Because Remy just found out, not from a phone call, not from a confession, but from a leaked wedding vendor invoice, that Papoose is allegedly planning to marry Claressa Shields in secret. And when I say she broke down, I mean full-on hoodie on tears, streaming, breathe-shaking Instagram live and baby. This wasn't for promo, he's marrying her, she whispered, eyes red behind my back. She couldn't even finish the sentence before she ended the live. The internet imploded, group chats bursting, Twitter already renamed him Papoose the betrayal blueprint. So let's be real, how do you go from being the gold standard of black love to a silent groom in another woman's fairy tale? Did Claressa really outmaneuver Remy for the crown? Or is this the most disrespectful plot twist in hip-hop relationship history? One thing's for sure, the evidence we've uncovered from secret bookings to a custom ring receipt is going to flip this story inside out. Let's break it all down, let's rewind, because this betrayal didn't come out of nowhere. This wasn't a random Tuesday morning heartbreak. This was the kind of backstab that's been simmering under the surface for months, maybe years. At the center, rumor rap legend Bronze Royalty, a woman who went to prison and came out still holding her man down like nothing ever changed, and Papoose for over a decade. He was the poster boy of loyalty. We're talking matching hoodies, jailhouse romance, bet red carpet hand-holding type loyalty. People had their wedding photos on vision boards, but now that vision board just got set on fire, because not only has Papoose allegedly been creeping with boxing champion Claressa Shields, word on the street is he's about to put a ring on it. And the worst part, found out the same way we all did, through a leak. Yep, someone close to Claressa's team accidentally shared a screenshot of an RSVP form from an elite Vegas venue. The event was labeled private ceremony, Pap. And that's when all hell broke loose. Now here's where things get even messier, according to a source who claims to be Ray's stylist cousin. Yes, we're going that deep. Remy had no clue this was happening. She was under the impression that she and Papoose were rebuilding. They've recently started therapy. They were in talks to do a joint podcast. She was even wearing her ring again. So imagine her shock when the leaked invite popped up in a group chat. Label do not sent to Remy. Oof. Within 24 hours, Remy went live on Instagram. No makeup, hoodie on, voice trembling. She didn't name names, but he didn't need her to, she said. The hardest part about betrayal isn't the act, it's realizing the person you protected the most was protecting someone else from you. And baby, that line became a trending sound on TikTok in under 3 hours. The internet dubbed it the Remy heartbreak anthem. But let's talk about the other woman in this mess, Claressa Shields. Now listen, Claressa is not new to controversy. She's an Olympic champion, yes, but she's also known for being extra loud with her wins and extra quiet when things start getting shady. Remember the birthday party last year when Remy skipped Papoose's private dinner and Claressa posted a picture of a cake that said, "Thank you, Pap." Yeah, we all blinked twice at that one, but nobody thought it meant anything. Then came the little things, a photo of Claressa wearing a hoodie identical to Papoose. Matching backgrounds in their stories, one in a gym, one in a hotel lobby, but same carpet, and of course the infamous accidental eye key live, where Claressa can be heard giggling off camera as a male voice says, "Don't post that she follows you." She ended the live instantly, but the damage already done. Papoose, as always, stayed silent. No denial, no clarification. No, you all got it wrong, just scripted captions like royalty isn't always returned, but it's always remembered. That one had fans scratching their heads like, wait, is he shaving Remy or praising Claressa? The confusion only deepened when Remy went off-grid for nearly a month. No posts, no appearances, no performances. Her publicist released a generic focusing on personal healing statement. But behind the scenes, she was spiraling. Sources say she was blindsided. One friend, who asked to remain anonymous, told us Remy truly believed she and Pap were still a team. This whole Claressa thing, it was a gut punch, like a full betrayal of everything she stood by him for. But that's not all. What most people don't know is that Papoose and Remy weren't just partners in love, they were partners in business. Multiple LLCs, a co-owned publishing deal, and even a non-profit initiative called Black Love Legacy, designed to uplift couples coming out of incarceration. And guess who's now allegedly managing the books on that nonprofit? Claressa's cousin. Let that sink in. The woman allegedly stealing Remy's man might also be handling her joint foundation funds. We're not saying there's foul play, but we're definitely not saying it either. And here's where we hit the tipping point. This week's screenshots leaked from what looks like a Vegas wedding planner portal. Included in the files, custom ring designs with R+C forever engraved inside, a deposit slip from a joint account linked to Papoose and Ray's LLC, and a seating chart with Remy's name crossed out in red. Yes, crossed out, the internet lost. It's mine hashtag protect form started trending again. Hashtag Papandressa started trending too, but not in the way they hoped. One user posted, Papoose built a legacy with Remy, then threw it all away for a protein shake and a boxer braid tragic. Another wrote, Claressa said undefeated in the ring and in the relationship I'm sick. But perhaps the wildest reaction came from Fat Joe himself, Ray's longtime friend and collaborator. He posted a cryptic black screen on his story with just one sentence, some betrayals don't need revenge, they need distance. That's when fans really knew something serious was going on behind the scenes, and just when people thought it couldn't get more toxic, it did, because Remy wasn't done talking, and her next move, let's just say it set the internet on fire. So let's talk about what happened next, because Remy's silence didn't last long after the seating chart leaked after the cake photos after seeing her name crossed out on what should have been her forever. Remy hit go live again, and this time she wasn't crying, she was furious, in a black tee, minimal makeup, and a tone that could slice glass. Remy looked straight into the camera and said, you all wanted me to stay quiet, but now that I know the full truth, I'm speaking on it, all of it. And then she did something no one saw coming. She pulled out her phone and began reading text messages allegedly from Papoose. One read, I didn't mean for you to find out like this, I swear I was going to tell you after the wedding. Another said, she wanted it private, she didn't want drama, but I didn't think it would go this far. Who Twitter losing every collective brain cell. The captions wrote themselves, after the wedding, she didn't want drama, but she married a married man. Papoose used to be the blueprint, now he's a cautionary tale. But wait, Remy didn't stop there. She dropped screenshots of wire transfers. Allegedly, money was being moved from the Black Love Legacy joint business account into a second account under the name R Shields Media. You already know what the R stands for. According to Remy, this account was used to pay for wedding photography, private dress fitting in LA, and a mysterious $18,000 charge labeled discretion travel services. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds a whole lot like we paid someone to keep quiet. Even TikTok detectives jumped on the case, breaking down every detail. One viral video compared timestamps from Claressa's stories and linked them to the exact dates the charges were made. Spoiler, they matched. But it wasn't just the internet reacting. People from the industry started chiming in. Tamar Braxton reposted the clip with the caption, you can hold a man down for 15 years and still not be enough, sis. You were more than enough, he was just less. Angela Yai brought it up on her podcast, saying Ray's downfall isn't her fault, it's what happens when women invest in potential for too long. The interest rate is heartbreak. Even Swiss Beats, who rarely comments on anything unrelated to music, posted a picture of Remy and wrote, strength wears lashes and pain wears hoodies, don't ever forget that. Meanwhile, Claressa Shields, acting like she was on a beach somewhere, she posted a boomerang in a white row holding champagne with the caption, healing isn't linear, but neither is love. Man, what does that even mean? And yet she was smiling because at this point, she thought she had won. Public sympathy was low-key tipping in her direction. Her name was buzzing. Brand deals were still intact. Even the athletic wear collab was set to launch the next week until the dress-fitting video leaked. Oh yes, you heard right, an anonymous source, rumored to be a stylist who worked the Vegas event, leaked behind-the-scenes footage from Claressa's private fitting, and in the video, Claressa can be seen standing in front of a mirror in a white satin gown saying, I can't wait to walk down the aisle, let her look crazy first, then we move, let her look crazy. Those 4 words flipped everything. Suddenly, Claressa went from unbothered queen to master manipulator. Twitter caught fire. Reddit forums exploded. Instagram pages reposted the clip with side-by-side footage of Remy crying on live. The public turned hard. One tweet got over 100 likes. This wasn't love, this was calculated clout, chasing Claressa playing chess while Remy gave her a seat at the table. Another comment said, so she wanted Remy to look unstable while she planned a whole wedding with the same man. That's diabolical. At this point, hashtag Team Remy wasn't just trending, it became a digital movement. Fan pages popped up, people were printing Remy deserve better t-shirts. A barbershop in the Bronx even offered free shape-ups for anyone who unfollows Papoose. Meanwhile, what about Papoose? Still silent. His Instagram black screen, no posts, no comments, no explanation. That silence deaning. But then, as if this saga couldn't get messier, an anonymous blog leaked voice memos allegedly between Claressa and Papoose planning a full media rollout. In one, Papoose is heard saying, we'll tell our truth after the wedding, she'll be too emotional to fight. Back in another, Claressa whispers, let me post first, you know the world's already on my side. By now, fans were calling for accountability. People were flooding Papoose's old Black Love content with comments like, Was it all fake? You wrote love letters in prison just to end up like this? Remy should have let a real one win her heart. Remy, on the other hand, took the high road sort of. She reposted a story of her crying live with the caption, "This was my lowest, but not my end." And then she announced something no one expected, a live event titled Healing Out Loud. One night only, the event promised live music, special guests, and a real conversation about heartbreak, betrayal, and rebuilding after public humiliation. Ticket sales sold out in under 48 hours. And just like that, the power started shifting. Remy was no longer the woman crying in her bedroom. She was becoming the face of resilience, of bounce-back energy, of "You won't break me, you just woke me up." But don't worry, this storm wasn't done yet, because while Remy was gathering her strength, Papoose was finally about to speak. Just when the internet thought it couldn't get any worse, it did, because finally, after weeks of silence, after raised tears, Claressa's road selfies, and the dress-fitting video heard around the world, Papoose spoke. But was it an apology? Was it a confession? Was it even a sentence we could understand? No, it was a moody black and white video titled Letter to Myself. Yeah, that's what we got, a spoken word, soft focus moment with lo-fi piano in the background. In the video, Papoose speaks, slowly saying things like, "Sometimes the deepest wedding comes from letting go. You outgrow the silence. But the silence never outgrows you. Some hearts don't cheat, they just change frequencies." Stir what you broke, a decade-long love story, and replaced it with an Instagram poetry jam. The top comment under the reposted video said it best: "This man wrote love letters through a prison wall just to end up mumbling metaphors in grayscale. Embarrassing." But Papoose wasn't done. He followed the video with a post, a quote on a black background that read, "It's complicated, that's all I'll say." And you know who had time that day? Rama. She didn't let him, she didn't need to. She posted a story minutes later that said, "You don't get to say it's complicated. After you planned a whole wedding in secret, you get to say I was a coward." Boom, mic drop again. Twitter went into cardiac arrest. And while the fans were eating up this poetic pettiness, something else was quietly happening, something that wasn't soft, subtle, or sweet. Legal heat multiple outlets started reporting that Remy Ma's legal team had officially filed a notice of intent to sue not just Papoose, but Claressa Shields to the claims: misuse of joint business funds, defamation through leaked media, emotional damages related to coordinated image attacks, and here's the kicker: unauthorized use of Ray's name and likeness in Claressa's upcoming docu. Yep, that one apologetic YouTube series Claressa teased. According to sources, it includes direct mentions of Remy, references to her private life, and allegedly footage from an event where Remy never gave consent to be filmed. In other words, lawsuit loading. And if that wasn't enough drama, there's more. Remember that Black Love legacy fund Remy and Pap started? Well, turns out it had investors, real ones, and when they saw the leap receipts showing money being funneled to our Shields media, the group reportedly called for an IRS inquiry and a freeze on all joint accounts. One investor told a gossip blog, "We thought we were funding mentorship programs, not gym bags and wedding planners." Meanwhile, Claressa tried to clap back, posting a short video of her in a boxing ring with the caption, "You can't knock me out with court papers." But sis, the court hits different when it's civil, federal, and financial, as the legal firestorm brewed. Brands started distancing themselves. Her athletic wear collab quietly removed from the launch calendar, her upcoming ESPN panel replaced by a last-minute guest, even a boxing magazine cover pulled the plug, replacing her with an alternate profile story. Suddenly, the it-girl energy she had at the start of the drama vanished, and Remy was thriving. Her live event, Healing Out Loud, sold out a second venue. Clips from the show went viral, especially a moment where she said, "If I have to fall to remember who I am, then let the ground come quickly." Woo bar queen, she also launched her podcast, dropped merch, and teased this streaming documentary deal called Remy Unwritten. You already know fans are ready to binge that the second it drops. But what about Papoose? Well, he's reportedly still in Vegas along the wedding. According to insiders called Goff, word is Claressa and Papoose postponed the wedding indefinitely after the backlash, brand fallout, and the growing legal noise. One source close to the situation said Claressa didn't sign up for lawsuits and cancellations. She wanted love and a storyline. Now she's rethinking both. Now, here's the wildest twist of them all. Someone leaked a video of Papoose alone at a Vegas chapel, allegedly taking the day they were supposed to get married. In the clip, Pap is sitting in the front row alone. No ring, no bride, just a bouquet on the seat beside him. And if that's not the saddest Lifetime movie scene you've ever imagined, I don't know what is. So here's where we are now. Remind me, booked, busy, healing, and glowing Claressa, under scrutiny, losing deals, and silent Papoose, poetic, unemployed looking, and ghosted from the culture, and the internet still talking. Ran it. has full timelines. TikTokers are reenacting scenes and fan pages are turning Ryan quotes into motivational wallpapers. But this wasn't just a cheating scandal, it was a story about trust, power, silence, and rebirth. It was about a woman who stood by her man through a prison bid, through the industry's doubt, through everything, just to get blindsided by a boxer with good hair and a camera crew. But Remy didn't fold. She turned pain into power. She didn't retaliate. She rebranded. And now, she's not just a rap queen, she's a survivor, a boss, and a blueprint for comeback culture. And there you have it, the love story we all thought would outlast the industry, gone in a cloud of cryptic captions, courtroom drama, and Claressa's ring curls. Remy didn't just lose a man, she lost years' trust, and the one person she thought would never fold under pressure. But what did she gain? A platform, a purpose, a whole army of fans who watched her fall and then rise like she never left. Meanwhile, Papoose, the man who built his brand on bars about loyalty, now reduced to grayscale selfies, spoken word confusion, and a canceled Vegas wedding. And Claressa sis went from undefeated in the ring to knocked out by public opinion. You can sip champagne all you want, but baby, that silence speaks louder than your Doors promo ever could. So now, the only real question is, was this all one big misunderstanding, or the most calculated betrayal hip-hop has seen in years? Should Remy forgive and move on? Should Claressa explain herself or stay unbothered until the lawsuits start landing? And should Papoose ever speak again, or just hand over the mic for good? Let us know in the comments. Do you stay with Remy, or are you team everybody's wrong, but the mess is entertaining? Either way, you already know. We've got the real story, the leaked DMs, and the burner phones on speed dial. So like the video, subscribe, and turn on those notifications, because with this crew, the drama never ends. This is gossip. Spill vibe, where the mix always hot and the tea is always boiling.